Hi guys, welcome to Forex 101 Beginners course. So this course is basically for those people na gustong matuto mag-trade ng Forex. Hinati ko tong course na to sa 7 part. So module number 1, the world of Forex. Module number 2, types of orders. Module number 3, brokers. And then module 4, your style. So ito yung different styles of trading. Module number 5, Market Framework 101. Module number 6, Platforms. And then module number 7, ito yung pinaka-importante, is Setting Realistic Expectations. So for this video number 1, we're gonna talk about the world of Forex. So module number 1, ano-ano ba yung mga matututunan natin dito? So first, financial market trading. So dito natin matututunan yung iba't ibang financial market na pwede natin i-trade as a retail trader. Why trade Forex? The Forex market, primary players, what is traded, base and quote, bid and ask, currencies, currency pairs, what do we do in trading, how can we make money from trading, what is a pip, lot size, leverage, and lastly, trading hours. Alright, so with that, simulan na natin. So first, financial market trading. So financial market all over the world takes place either through a regulated centralized exchange or over the counter. So exchange traded market operates via a centralized exchange katulad ng New York Stock Exchange, London Stock Exchange, and dito sa Pilipinas meron tayong tinatawag na Philippine Stock Exchange. Over-the-counter naman or OTC, ito yung mga decentralized markets that made up of network of different dealers who compete to link buyers and sellers. So dito kabilang yung Forex market. So ano-ano ba yung mga commonly traded market as a retail trader? So we have the stock market, forex market, commodities market, and then cryptocurrency market. So discuss lang natin briefly itong mga to one by one. The equity or stock market is simply the marketplace where shares or stocks are traded. Shares are financial assets that provide evidence of ownership in a company. So let's say for example, listed yung isang big company katulad ng Ayala or Jollibee sa stock market. So, since listed sila sa stock market, pwede tayong mag-participate to buy and sell dun sa mga shares na available. So, let's say for example, Ayala, listed siya sa stock exchange. That means pwede natin siyang i-trade. Now, kapag bumili tayo ng shares ng Ayala at let's say X amount of price per share, basically parang part owner tayo ng company. So kung tataas yung price nila per share, of course yung investment natin tataas din. Kung bumaba naman yung price per share, yung investment natin bababa din. So ganun nag-work yung stock market. And as a retail trader, pwede tayong mag-participate dito. So companies that are publicly listed like Facebook, Tesla, Apple, so ito naman international companies are traded in stock exchange like Nasdaq. So again, dito sa atin sa Pilipinas, meron tayong Philippine Stock Exchange. So doon natin makikita yung mga big companies na pwede nating i-trade. So that's stock market. Forex market naman, so the foreign exchange or forex market is the financial market where currencies are traded or exchanged for one another. Ito rin yung biggest market in the world with an average volume exceeding $6 trillion per day. And ang maganda pa dito, nag-ooperate siya 24 hours a day, 5 times a week from Monday to Friday. So nagko-close lang siya during weekends. Forex market is an OTC, so over the counter, used by individuals, financial institutions, government, and other agencies. So tayo as a normal citizen ng Pilipinas, no, nag-participate na rin tayo dito sa forex market in some way. So let's say for example, magka-travel tayo sa Singapore. So syempre hindi naman natin pwedeng gamitin yung Philippine peso to buy something dun sa Singapore. So papapalitan natin yung Philippine peso natin with Singaporean dollar. So in that way, nag-participate na rin tayo sa foreign exchange. Now, next market natin is commodities market. So commodities market is the place where raw materials instead of manufactured goods are traded. So under commodities, meron tayong different sectors. So agricultural, energy, and metal. So for example, sa agricultural, meron tayong corn, soybeans, cotton, sugar, etc. So pwede natin tong i-trade as a retail trader. Energy, dyan yung crude oil, Brent oil, ethanol. Metal, so industrial metals like copper, lead, zinc, and precious metals like silver and gold. So pwede natin i-trade to. And then lastly, we have the cryptocurrency market. So basically a digital money. Cryptocurrencies are designed to be secure, in many cases, anonymous. So Bitcoin was the first decentralized cryptocurrency and created in 2009, shortly after the financial crisis. So ngayon, sobrang dami ng cryptocurrency na pwede natin i-trade as a retail trader. Pero yung pinaka-common, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Dogecoin. Alright? So ito yung mga commonly traded market as a retail trader. So again, we have the stock market, forex market, commodities market, and cryptocurrency market. So in this course, magfo-focus tayo sa forex market. So why trade forex? Bakit ba natin kailangan subukan mag-trade ng forex? Ilan lang tong mga to sa mga naisip kong reasons. So first of all, no staff, no buildings, wala tayong nirerentahan unlike traditional business, and then wala rin tayong products. And every dollar you make is purely mobile. Every dollar you make in trading is semi-passive. So matututunan nyo yan later on. And this business is very scalable. So imagine a business na pwede mong dalhin kahit saan. Right? So pwede kang mag-trade sa beach or kung nagta-travel ka outside the country. So pwede mong dalhin. Semi-passive. So just to give you an idea, as a trader, pwede itong maging semi-passive income natin kasi more on naghihintay lang tayo ng trade na mag-materialize. And very minimal effort na lang yung kailangan nating gawin kapag natuto na tayo kung paano mag-trade. So this business is very scalable. So anytime pwede nyong i-scale up yung trading business nyo. So very flexible ng trading business, and that is why tumagal din ako dito for 10 years. So online trading is an extremely powerful business model. So again, ilan lang to sa mga reasons kung bakit magandang subukan yung forex trading. But every rose has its thorn. So the profit potential is huge. Pero syempre, yung success rate is low. So like any other business or profession, hindi madaling kumita sa pagtitrade ng forex, and that is the reality. So parang sa traditional business, at first, maybe first 1 or 2 years, more on trial and error, tinitingnan natin kung mag-work ba to, okay ba yung profit potential niya, right? So same with forex. First 1 to 2 years, medyo hindi pa kayo makakita ng significant profits dyan, or maybe nasa break-even kayo kasi more of dinidiscover nyo kung ano yung method na mag-work sa inyo. So in terms of success rate, to be honest, okay, maraming nag-fail sa trading, and ayokong mag-sugarcoat. So gusto ko dito pa lang i-accept nyo na itong business na to, mahirap siyang pag-aralan. It will take time, energy, effort, and emotion, right? But yung profit potential niya is huge. And other than profit, madami rin kayong benefits na makukuha kapag natuto kayong mag-trade ng forex. Isa na doon yung flexibility. Katulad nga ng sabi ko sa inyo, pwede nyo tong gawin kahit nasaan kayo sa mundo, and pwede nyo rin tong gawin anytime that you want. Kung ayaw nyo mag-trade this week, okay lang, pwede kayong mag-trade next week. So, very flexible. Okay? Now, let's dive deep sa forex market. So, forex, it refers to global decentralized over-the-counter marketplace where banks, institutions, and speculators like us trade or exchange various national currencies. It is also the largest and most liquid market on the planet and is traded around the world in every time zone, 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. So nagsasarado lang siya during weekend, so Saturday and Sunday. It is usually called as FX market, foreign exchange market, foreign currency market, or currency market. So yung exchange in Forex comes from the exchange of one currency for another. And unlike stock market, wala tayong central exchange. So wala tayong parang Philippine Stock Exchange na pwede nating puntahan sa BGC. Ang Forex market, since decentralized siya, wala tayong gano'n. It is the largest free market in the world, meaning pwede natin itong gawin kahit na undergraduate tayo, wala tayong work, or kung ano mang status natin as a person. So basically, it provides opportunities for people like us. May laptop ka, may internet ka, and may enough knowledge ka, of course, may capital ka, pwede mong gawin tong forex trading. Primary forex players, so we have the banks, institutions, and speculators. So banks, andyan yung central banks, mga big banks, institutions like international businesses. So let's say for example, Apple, yung Apple company, right? So pag magpapagawa sila ng products nila, so yung iba pinapagawa nila sa China, so hindi naman nila pwedeng bayaran yung mga Chinese workers ng US dollar, kailangan nilang bayaran yon ng Chinese yuan. So papapalitan nila yung US dollar nila to Chinese yuan. So in that way, nagpa-participate din sila sa forex market. And then of course, speculators. So dito tayo kabilang. So yung mga nag-speculate lang sa market para mag-profit dun sa mga short movements na price. So ito yung mga primary forex players. Now, what is traded in the forex market? Of course, alam nyo na yan, currencies, and each currency has a 3-letter ISO code. So ito yung tinatawag na ISO 4217. So for example, US dollar. So yung code niya is USD. For euro, it's EUR. For Japanese yen, it's JPY. So the first 2 letters stands for the country name. And yung third letter naman, ito yung currency name. So currencies are always quoted in pairs. So sa forex trading, ito yung makikita nyo. Let's say Euro/USD, USD/JPY, GBP/USD. So lagi silang quoted in pair. Bakit? Kasi every buy has a sell and every sell has a buy. So we're exchanging one currency for another. Kaya lagi silang pair. So kung may binibili tayo simultaneously, meron tayong binebenta. And kung meron naman tayong binebenta, simultaneously meron tayong binibili. Okay? So let's say for example, Euro/USD, kapag binili natin tong currency pair na to, that means we are buying Euro and simultaneously selling USD. Let's talk about base and quote currency. So the base currency is always equal to 1. So base currency, ito yung laging nasa left. Quote currency naman, ito yung nagfa-fluctuate. And ito yung nasa right. So, Euro-USD for example. So, yung base currency natin, ito yung always equal to 1. So, in this case, yung Euro is 1. And then yung quote currency natin, which is yung nasa right, USD, ito yung nagfa-fluctuate. Okay? So, let's say for example, 1 Euro is equal to 1.1900 US dollar. After a few minutes, pwede maging 1 euro is equal to 1.1920. Okay? So ito laging equal to 1. And then ito naman gumagalaw siya. So nagfa-fluctuate. Alright? So remember, yung base currency nasa left, yung quote currency nasa right. Bid and ask. So bid is the price at which you sell. And ask price naman is the price at which you buy. So yung bid, ito yung nasa left. Yung ask, ito yung nasa right. So same example, Euro-USD. And then may makikita kayo sa platform nyo, ganito. So may dalawang price. So yung nasa left side, yan yung bid natin. Ito yung price kung saan pwede tayong magbenta. And then yung nasa right naman, ito yung ask price natin. Ito yung price kung saan pwede tayong bumili. Alright? So, kung makikita natin yung bid natin dito is 1.1911 and then yung ask natin is 1.1913. So, sa trading platform nyo, ganito yung itsura niya. Okay? So, meron tayong symbol, meron tayong bid, and then meron tayong ask. So, let's say gusto natin mag-buy sa Euro USD, ang buy price natin magiging 1.1913. Kung gusto naman natin mag-sell sa Euro USD, ang sell price natin magiging 1.1911. Alright? Pag-usapan naman natin yung currencies. So, yung currencies, nahati siya into three. So, we have the majors, minors, and exotics. So, may smiley dyan. Yung majors, merong 3 smiley. Yung minors, merong 2. Yung exotics, meron lang siyang 1. Bakit? Kasi yung majors, ito yung pinaka-popular and madalas tinitrade ng mga traders. Minors, secondary lang siya to majors. And then exotic, ito yung mga currency pairs na iniiwasan natin. So, malalaman nyo yung reason later on. Let's talk about major currency pairs. So, currency pairs containing the US dollar or USD. So, meron tayong 7 major currency pairs. We have Euro USD, GBP USD, so British Pound and US Dollar, Aussie USD, Australian Dollar and US Dollar, NZD USD, New Zealand Dollar and US Dollar, USD JPY, US Dollar versus the Japanese Yen, USD CAD, US Dollar and Canadian Dollar, and then lastly we have USD CHF, US Dollar, and Swiss franc. So ito yung mga major currency pairs. Sila rin yung most traded currencies globally. Huge liquidity. So ibig sabihin malaki yung volume na pumapasok dito sa mga currency pairs na to. And they also have the lowest spread. So yung spread, pag-uusapan natin to sa mga succeeding videos. Ito naman yung tinatawag natin na fee. Of course, as a trader, nagbabayad din tayo ng fee para makapag-trade. Let's go over to minor currency pairs. So, currency pairs not containing the US dollar. So, meron tayong 21 currency pairs. Ito sila, hindi ko na iisa-isahin. Pwede nyo i-screenshot yan or i-search nyo sa Google kung ano-ano yung mga minor currency pairs. So, minor or cross-currency pairs. So, tinatawag rin natin siyang cross-currency pairs. And ang difference lang nito sa majors, meron siyang medyo mas malaking spread or fee. So, medyo malaki yung binabayaran natin dito as compared to major currency pairs. And then lastly, we have the exotic currency pairs. Currency pairs made up of one major currency and one emerging currency. So, ito yung mga examples niyan. Euro and Turkish lira, US dollar and Hong Kong dollar, US dollar, Norwegian krona, Australian dollar and Singaporean dollar, British pound and South African rand, and then Australian dollar and Mexican peso. Ilan lang to sa exotic currency pairs, pero marami pang exotics na pwedeng i-trade. Ang problem lang with exotic currency pairs, meron silang huge spread kasi wala masyadong volume, wala masyadong nagtitrade ng mga currency pairs na to. The question is, which pair should you trade? So, my suggestion, mag-focus lang kayo sa majors and minors kasi it's easier to find trades and you'll get lower spread. So, as a total beginner, mag-focus lang muna kayo dito sa majors. And then kapag medyo nasanay na kayo, that's the time na pwede na kayong magdagdag ng minor currency pairs. What do we do in trading forex? So sa trading linggo, meron tayong tinatawag na long and short. So long ibig sabihin buy, short ibig sabihin sell. Okay, so makikita nyo rin dito may bull and may bear. So kapag umangat yung price, tawag dyan bullish. Kapag naman bumababa yung price, tawag dyan bearish. Madalas nyong maririnig to as a forex trader. Bakit ba bulls and bears yung ginawang animal dito sa trading, no? Actually walang specific reason, pero they say na yung bulls kasi pag umaatake pataas, and then yung bears naman pag umaatake pababa. So that's why kapag uptrend yung market, bullish. Kapag downtrend naman, bearish. Alright? So let's say for example, GBP USD. Gusto nating i-trade. Now, by going long sa GBP USD, you are trading with the expectation that the value of GBP will rise against the value of USD. So, ang in-expect natin, aangat yung price ng GBP USD. Inversely, by going short naman on GBP USD, you are trading with the expectation that the value of GBP will fall against the value of US dollar. So remember, kapag nagtitrade tayo ng currency pair, let's say maglo-long tayo sa GBP USD, so nagbabay tayo sa GBP and simultaneously nagsisell tayo ng US dollar. Okay? Now, how can we make money from trading? So you can make money from trading by forecasting where the price of a particular currency pair is going to go. If you believe the price of a currency pair is going up, then you enter buy or long. And if you believe the price is going down, pwede ka naman mag-enter ng sell or short trade. So again, pag ang expectation natin, aangat yung presyo, pwede tayong mag-long. Kapag naman bababa, pwede tayong mag-short. So for example, itong chart na to, right? So in-expect natin from here, so dito sa first circle, aangat yung price. Okay? So pwede tayong mag-buy dito. And then pag nag-exit tayo dito, dyan tayo magpa-profit kasi tumama yung forecast natin. Ganito naman pag magse-sell, so kung in-expect natin, bababa yung price, ganito, pwede tayong mag-sell. So sell if you think price is going down at this point. And then kapag bumaba, tumama yung forecast natin, pwede tayong mag-exit for a profit. So ito yung example ng trade na ginawa ko way back 2021. So shinare ko to kasi gumagawa ko ng video dito ng trade ko. Tinrade ko dito yung USD JPY and kumita ako ng $639 kasi na forecast ko na aangat yung presyo, so nag-enter ako ng long or buy, and then nung tumama, ito yung kinita ko. Ito naman, nag-trade ako sa NZD USD, so nag-sell ako dyan, kumita ako ng $490 kasi na-forecast ko na possible bumaba yung price ng NZD USD, so nag-sell ako, nag-short, and then nung tumama, kumita ako ng profit. So ganito kumikita ng pera sa forex market. What is a pip? Currencies are always quoted in pips. So pip, ibig sabihin yan percentage in points. A pip is the smallest price move a currency can make. Most currency pairs are quoted with 4 decimals. Okay, tandaan yan, 4 decimals. And then yung pip count, magsisimula siya sa 4th decimal. So let's say Euro USD, nagtitrade siya at 1.9005 and then after few minutes, nag-move siya to 1.9010. So, ibig sabihin, nag-move yung price ng 5 pips. Okay? So, magsisimula tayo sa 4th decimal. For example naman, GBP USD. So, from 1.2130, naging 1.2105 siya. So, yung price, nag-move siya ng 25 pip. So, recently, some brokers have added a fifth decimal which is a fraction of a pip. So, yung fifth decimal, lagi natin i-disregard yan. So, dito, pwede natin makita 1.21056. So, lagi natin di-disregard yan. Yung pip count, magsisimula siya lagi sa 4th decimal. Okay? So, meron lang isang currency na naiiba, which is yung JPY or Japanese Yen. Kasi lahat ng JPY pairs, quoted yan with 2 decimals. So, for example, USD JPY, ganito yung pwede niyang maging quotation. 108.10. So, 2 decimals lang. The reason is because it takes so much yen to equal the typical currency. Ang key lang dito, just know that any JPY pair will be quoted with 2 decimals. So if you see JPY quoted with 3 decimals, the pip count will start at 2nd decimal, because the third decimal is what we call fraction of a pip. So ito yung parang fifth decimal naman dun sa normal currency pair, right? So let's say USD JPY nagte-trade siya currently at 108.10 and then after few minutes naging 108.30 siya. So ibig sabihin yung price nag-move ng 20 pips. Lot size. Forex is traded in specific amount called lot. So ito yung volume ng trade na nilalagay natin sa trading platform natin. Meron tayong standard lot, mini lot, and micro lot. So yung standard lot, 100,000 yan ng base currency natin. Mini lot, 10,000 ng base currency. Micro lot, 1,000 ng base currency. So ito yung dollar value niya per pip. So kapag gumamit tayo ng standard lot, let's say 1 standard lot, ang dollar value niya per pip is $10. Okay, so pag yung isang trade nag-move ng 1 pip, ibig sabihin kapag naka 1 standard lot tayo, that is equivalent to $10. Okay? So yung position size naman is 1.0. So yung position size, ito yung nilalagay natin sa platform natin. So dito, sa gitna. Okay? So yan, 1.0, that means 1 standard lot. And then for mini lot naman, ang dollar value per pip niyan is $1. Position size, 0.10. Then micro lot, 1,000 based ng currency. So that's 10 cents per pip. So ang position size naman yan is 0.01. Okay? So for example, maglo-long tayo sa Euro USD with 1 standard lot at 1.0906 and sell or ating take profit natin at 1.0916. So ilalagay natin dito, right, 1.00 kasi 1 standard lot. And then, click natin itong buy. Nag-take profit tayo, nag-sell sa 1.0916. So, that means meron tayong profit na 10 pips. So, para i-compute natin yung dollar profit natin. So, 10 pips multiplied by $10 kasi ang equivalent ng 1 standard is $10 per pip. Okay? So, ang total profit natin in dollar is $100. Alright? Another example naman, so same currency pair Euro USD, same price, pero this time magte-trade tayo ng 2 mini lot. Okay? So ang ilalagay natin dito, since 2 mini lot, hindi 1.00. So yung mini lot natin, ito yung position size niya. And since dalawa na mini lot yung bibilin natin, ang ilalagay natin dito is 0.20. Okay? So yung profit natin in pips is $10 dollar profit natin. So 10 pips multiplied by $2 kasi $2 per mini lot. I mean $1 per mini lot multiplied by $2. So ang total profit natin in dollar value is $20. Leverage. So leverage is the ability to use something small to control something big. So in trading, you can have a small amount of capital in your account controlling a large amount in the market. So basically, multiplier siya. So pag nag-open kayo ng trading account nyo sa broker, may option kayo to choose kung anong leverage yung gagamitin nyo, and it varies from broker to broker. So, merong mga broker na nagbibigay lang ng up to 100 na leverage. Yung iba naman may up to 1,000. Okay? Let's say, for example, pinili natin 1:100 na leverage. So, kung mag-open tayo ng 1 standard lot, kung wala tayong leverage, kailangan natin ng 100,000 sa trading account natin. Okay? But since ang leverage natin is 1:100, so yung trading capability natin na multiply siya to 100. So instead of 100,000 na capital yung kailangan natin para makapag-open ng 1 standard lot, ang kailangan na lang natin is $1,000. Kung 1:50 naman yung leverage natin, again, para makapag-open tayo ng 1 standard lot sa unleveraged account, kailangan natin 100,000. But since 1:50 yung leverage natin, ang kailangan na lang natin is $2,000. Alright? So again, minumultiply niya yung trading capability natin. That means na-amplify yung upside natin, but at the same time, yung downside din natin or yung potential risk, malaki din. Na-amplify din siya. Okay? So always remember itong 90-90-90 rule sa trading. That means 90% of new retail traders lose 90% of their money in the first 90 days. So for the master trader who effectively manages his greed, leverage is a powerful tool, but for the emotional trader who tries to get rich quick, leverage is but a fatal attraction. Okay, so double-edged sword yung leverage. So be very careful in trading with high leverage. And lastly, we have our trading hours. So remember, ang forex market open siya 24 hours a day, 5 times a week. But during that 24 hours, merong iba't ibang financial center na open. Okay? So we have 4 major financial center: Sydney, Tokyo, London, and New York. So yung Sydney, nag-open siya from 5 a.m. and then nagko-close siya ng 2 p.m. Philippine time pala to. And then Tokyo, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. So itong dalawa, ito yung tinatawag natin na Asian session. And then London, 3 p.m. to 12 midnight. New York naman, 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. So Asian session, medyo mababa pa yung volume yan sa market. So basically, majority ng currency pairs hindi gumagalaw and hindi din advisable mag-trade ng Asian session. London Open, so from 3 p.m. ito yung medyo makakakita na tayo ng volume or movement sa market kasi yung London, isa to sa pinakamalaking financial center sa mundo. And by the time na mag 8 p.m. mag-open yung New York, so from 8 p.m. to 12 midnight, mag-overlap yung London and New York. So sabay silang naka-open. So that means malaki yung volume na papasok sa market. So ito yung pinaka magalaw na trading hours sa Forex, and ito rin yung advisable na trading hours natin. Okay? So New York magko-close ng 5 a.m. and then babalik na naman tayo sa Sydney or Asian session. So that's it for our module 1, the world of Forex. And just a quick reminder, guys, don't risk a single cent in the learning stage. So hindi nyo kailangan mag-open na ng account sa brokers or mag-trade na agad-agad with real money kasi kailangan nyo pang matuto. Kailangan alam nyo yung ginagawa nyo kapag nag-invest na kayo ng pera. So sa next video, we're gonna talk about types of orders. So ito naman yung mga ways kung paano tayo mag-enter and mag-exit sa market. So with that, guys, thank you for watching and good luck.